Hi, my name is Dave Young, Director and Founder of Armor Training and U.S. Fighting Systems. I have over 30 plus years of training and experience as a former corrections officer, a police officer, and a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. And I grew up in some of the toughest cities and streets in Hialeah, Florida. Over the last 20 years as a professional trainer, I've identified 3 things that make you successful out in the field. Number 1 is training. Going through the motions, practicing. Perfect practice makes perfect. Taking that training environment out to the range and real-world encounters to make sure that when you're ready to perform, it could cost you your life, so it's worth the time, energy, and effort to concentrate on training. But next is just as important. We're talking about gear and equipment. Without the right gear and equipment, I've seen some of the best successful missions all over the world fail. And I think that if you take the time to decide what you're going to use and when you're going to use it, you'll have a better outcome and a result. And last, we're going to talk about number 3 is confidence. Confidence in not only what you will do and won't do in a physical encounter, but confidence in the gear and the equipment that you go out and purchase. I'd like to introduce you to the new Reflex holster by Uncle Mike's. It utilizes a unique integrative retention technology, or what I refer to as the I.R.T. Now, if you look very closely at this holster, it's going to allow you to do 3 things when it comes to accessing, drawing, and engaging a threat and returning it back to the holster. In fact, when you first grip your firearm and grab it, and you squeeze the handle of the firearm, it's going to bring the firearm closer to your body, which is going to allow you to defeat or deactivate the I.R.T. If you look very carefully on the side here, it allows the user to grab the firearm and keeping the finger outside of the trigger guard. So that means when the weapon does break the confineries of the holster, the index finger is not going to get intruded by going into the trigger and having an accidental discharge like we've seen from other holsters in the past. The human being acts in 2 different types of nervous systems. We have the parasympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system is going to be in times of when you have no threat to your life, sitting in your car, sitting at home, eating lunch on a park bench, standing in line at the grocery store. You're going to be in a very relaxed mode where you're not worrying about having to jump or defend for your own life. But then when you hear those gunshots or you're physically threatened, and we go from the flight to the fight concept, then you work in what we call our sympathetic nervous system. That's when you're going to be having to really defend your life where your mistakes could be very costly. You know, we gave the name of the holster Reflex because it's based off of a whole reflexology. You're going to be acting in the midbrain under stress where all gross motor skills take over. So we want to make sure that you don't have a problem getting that weapon out when your life depends on it the most. I'm sure you're all familiar with the phrase, practice makes perfect, but it's really perfect practice makes perfect. And listen, over a period of time, all skills are perishable. So that means when you get this holster out of the box, I want you to get a non-functional training firearm. Find out where you want to position the holster first. Some people like it over the front pocket, over the rear pocket, but wherever you happen to grab it and position it, make sure that your brain is going to learn where it is so you can access it and secure it back inside the holster without having to look at it and take too much time away from it. Now, when you do these drawing drills, make sure you're using a safe weapon and you're pointing the muzzle in a safe direction. So please try to always honor the laser rule. Don't point the weapon at something that you're not ready to shoot. Make sure your backstop target and beyond is clear. But I would strongly recommend you go in the privacy of your own home, place the holster on your side, and start working some basic gross motor memory. I'd go ahead and start doing basic draws where you have the shirt tucked in so nothing's hindering or obstructing the holster and the firearm. Then you're going to have to turn around and put a shirt on over the top of it. Then I would tuck the shirt in. I'd put a light jacket or light shirt on over the top so you can practice using your thumb and raking the clothing away, going to the firearm, accessing the firearm, getting it out on target, and then you're going to have to go through that same process to secure it and put it back. Listen, if you want it to be in long-term memory, you're going to have to build muscle memory. You know, then I would actually tuck in my shirt, put a heavier jacket on, or maybe you might want to use some cold weather gloves or driving gloves. Remember, all these things are going to hinder your ability to access your firearm, manipulate your firearm from the holster, present it onto the target, and then secure it safely. Make sure your clothing doesn't bind up or your shirt doesn't stop you from putting the firearm back inside the holster. Then you're going to want to come out to the range and do some live firing exercises. And again, make sure you're wearing all the proper safety equipment, make sure you got a hat or a cover on, and make sure you have a range safety officer present when you practice these drills. Thank you for joining me and letting me explain the Reflex holster to you. If you want to see more of our videos and see exactly what we're showing about all the different types of things that you might have to get answers to, visit us at the Uncle Mike's website. And thank you for spending your time with me.